Let's take a look at how to use Google Forms to create data that can be imported into Google Maps. In your web browser, navigate to Google Drive. I'm going to start by creating a new form with a new button. Go to More and Google Forms. In Google Forms, I need to create at least two questions, and one of those questions has to be location. And so that could be, where were you born, or where do you want to live someday, but some sort of city-state combination that Google Maps can use to plot points. So city-state's a great option. So the question here will be, what city and state were you born in? And I'm going to change this to a text type question, so they can just type in city and state, and that's it. I'll click done. And the next thing I'm going to choose is just going to be a yes/no option, and I'll do choose from a list. And so we'll say, do you enjoy ice cream? And option 1 will be yes, and option 2 will be no. Okay, so I've got my two important pieces here. I've got the city and state information and a question to ask that we can plot on the map with those points. So let's put some finishing touches here. We'll call this the ice cream quiz. And some options at the top there. Generally, when I'm working with students, you want to automatically record the email address and everything that comes with it, so you're positive who created the document or who created the response. Unless, of course, you're doing an anonymous form, in which case you want to uncheck that. I would leave those alone, and we could probably uncheck that. They don't need to submit 2 responses there. Okay, now you don't need to send it anywhere right now unless you want to create a link for them to click on. So you can click send form, and then you can get a link here that you can share. So you could post that on a website, you could send it in email, and they will click on that and get to take the survey. You can also enter email addresses here and send them a little message to take the quiz that way. So for now, I'm just going to leave that blank. How you choose to deliver the quiz, it would be up to you. And so it works great in Google Classroom. You can just post a link as an announcement or an assignment. That works well too. And I can go to View Live Form, and I can take this quiz myself. So we can say, and I'll say no, and submit. And that's what the quiz would look like to somebody that was using it. So I'm just going to add a few more here, and just to get some data in our chart. So I'll close that. You can retake this a few times to get data in there. Okay, so where are these responses showing up? Well, you go to Google Drive and you find your quiz there. The purple one is the form. And there should be a Google Sheets document with the same name, but it says responses at the end. If you open that up, you should see the recorded responses. And so you get time and date stamp, you get the username because I checked that one box, and then you get the column C has what city and state, and column D has the yes/no answers. So that's where it'll show up, and you can get as many as you need. They'll just keep filling up as it goes down. Okay, so we have our data, and now we can use that in Google Maps. So I go over to Google Maps, and I click, it doesn't matter where you show up on the map here, but just click over here on the menu. Go to My Maps, and click Create. And so we have an untitled map here, so we can give this a name. My ice cream map. You can give it a description if you want to. Click Save. And then what I need to do is, we've got this untitled layer here, and I need to click Import to bring in my data. So I can upload a spreadsheet or some other data types that you have here, or I can go to Google Drive and click on Ice Cream Quiz Responses. Select. And now it's going to ask me a couple questions. The first question it's going to ask me is, which column should I use to plot the points on the map? which column has the location information. And so on this list, I'm going to choose what state were you born in. That's the one that has the location information. So that's where the place marks will show up. Continue. And then what do I want to title the markers? Well, we want to title our little pins, our little markers on the map with the answer to, do you enjoy ice cream? So I'll click Finish, and it will adjust the map here. Okay, it zooms in to sort of cover the area where the map pins show up. But here we have a yes answer in Seattle, a no answer in Federal Way, a yes answer out here, and right here we have Portland. Okay, so one thing you can do to make this a little easier to read is instead of individual styles here, this refers to the pins, we can change that to, do you enjoy ice cream? So it'll change the pins based on their answer to that question. So now we get color coded. Now the default colors they happen to pick this time are really close, so that's not good. But I can click on no, click on the paint bucket and choose red. I can click on yes, paint bucket, and choose green. And now you can see just at a glance, green is the yes, I like ice cream people, and no is red is the no, I don't like ice cream. So you can imagine lots of different ways to use this in your classroom. You could even have students poll their classmates or people in the community and very easily create useful data on a map tied into certain questions, and you can spot trends or all kinds of stuff you could do with that. So hopefully that was helpful.